Welcome to another video here at Euphoric Sports. Today we're going to be going through the most overrated starting 11 in the world. Now, I got motivated by a TikTok. I saw somebody, basically did a most overrated XI, and it was extremely excruciating to see someone with so poor ball knowledge just come out and give me like one of the worst, starting 11s that are overrated. I saw Gabriel from Arsenal, who's literally been one of their best finishers, being considered overrated. And as a center back, he's a great defender, and he's their biggest threat when it comes to goal scoring, considering they don't have no attackers right now. Like, how is that overrated? But let's get into the real overrated starting 11. Starting in goal, I was torn between Maignan and Emiliano Martinez, because Emiliano Martinez, I think he's, a top 15 goalkeeper in the world, but to be considered the best goalkeeper in the world, you cannot tell me that if your life was on the line, you needed a goalkeeper for 90 minutes in the World Cup final. I understand you're going to be saying, oh, he already won a World Cup final. He conceded 3 goals, all right, 3 goals. So if my life was on the line, I think I would go with Courtois, considering my man has like clean sheets in the Champions League final. Emiliano Martinez will never sniff a Champions League final. But Maignan is actually who I'm going to go with here, with due to him just being considered a top goalkeeper in the world. Whenever I watch him, he's a Serie A Onana. He makes tons of mistakes. Against Feyenoord, first leg, boom, mistake straight into his hands. How is that supposed to be one of the best goalkeepers in the world? To me, he's not even a top 3 goalkeeper in the Serie A. So him being considered the best goalkeeper in, one of the best goalkeepers in the world, just flabbergasts me, considering how error prone he is, especially with how Milan are struggling their mid-table right now. To me, Maignan is, highly overrated. He's a decent goalkeeper, but he's not one of the best. He's being called to be one of the Man City's new replacements for Ederson. To me, no. Pep Guardiola, stay away from this. Right back, I'm going to go with Frimpong. Yeah, Frimpong. You might be saying, oh, why are you going with Frimpong? Well, he's one of these defenders that they're not really that great at defending, but he's a great attacker. To me, he's a winger, but he does fall great with Leverkusen's 3-back. That's why with Xabi Alonso has gotten the best out of him, because it makes up for his defensive struggles when you have an extra center back in the back. But when it comes to him defending, he's a very poor defender, undersized. I wouldn't really consider him as a right back and a 4-back. To be fair, he's more of a winger. When you watch the Netherlands play, they always have him in the wing because he's not really a great defender, to be honest. So Frimpong, highly overrated. He's being called, one of the next Trent. And to be fair, Trent has his defensive struggles, but not as bad as Frimpong. He's not really undersized, and he's the best defender on ball. I think we can all agree. Right center back, we're going to go with John Stones. John Stones, considered one of the best English defenders, always a consistent starter with England, but to be fair, this man isn't really all that great. On the ball, he's a great defender, but off the ball, he gets caught off position because he loves to tuck into the midfield. A lot of the times, Man City plays poor teams, and they put Guardiola as his, fullback next to him, and Ruben Diaz also next to him. So he gets kind of that luxury of being able to play with some of the best defenders in the world. But John Stones, he's being average. On the ball, he's great. That's why Pep Guardiola bought him from Everton, because on the ball, he's a great passer, and he tucks into the midfield. Many times we've seen John Stones just start in the midfield, but his best asset is that he's an inverted center back. So that's why Pep Guardiola has loved him, but as a defender, he's poor. Look against Man City, against Real Madrid in the Bernabeu, straight away off position because he tucked into the midfield. Goes up against Mbappe's lightning speed. Mbappe chips it over Ederson, and John Stones magically hurt right after. So that just shows the quality he is when it comes to defending world-class threats like Kylian Mbappe. Left center back, Lisandro Martinez. Now, you're going to say, oh, World Cup champ. Well, to be fair, they almost choked when he was in there. Against the Netherlands, the 2 goals the Netherlands scored at the end were because Lisandro Martinez couldn't stay on his man, undersized. The way he tries to make up for his undersized body is, oh, I'm in the Premier League, one of the most physical leagues in the world, right? You're going up against Chris Wood, a giant beast. You're going up against Solanke. You're going up against Harry Kane at one point. You're going up against, Erling Haaland. These are physical strikers. Physical. They're going to be hitting you. And a guy that isn't even 6 foot, severely short, for a center back, he's going to have to make it up one way, and that's playing dirty, over physical, and that is why he's injured a lot. Because when you're playing over physical and playing dirty, sometimes you may be the victim of being hurt if you're not, careful. And that's what he tries to do. He's undersized. This man isn't even 5'10", going up against Chris Wood, Erling Haaland. Of course he's getting smothered in the box, and of course he's getting hurt. To me, he's always been a fullback, but for some reason, United has forced him as a center back, especially under Ten Hag. But I feel like now under Ruben Amorim, he may be able to, play that left center back role. Maybe those two other center backs will help his undersized body kind of like have a little bit of a luxury with the extra body. But to be fair, when this man's matching up against big center backs, he's going in trying to ruin careers. He's either going to get sent off or hurt the way he plays. And he's regarded as, a underrated defender, but to me, massively overrated. But left back, this is going to be another one of those, I'm great at attacking, but not really a great defender. Cucurella. Aside from, if you take away that Euros run, Cucurella, right? What has he done at Chelsea? Since he's left Brighton to Chelsea, he's been massively overrated. He's a better attacker than he is a defender. He always gets caught, attacking, and he can't transition back. He's severely overrated because some people, try to just base his career off that Euros run. He had a great Euros run with Spain because Spain had a great dominant midfield, a great playing style that really helped him get the best out of him, because he's great on the ball. But the thing is, he did great at Brighton because that's kind of like the style Brighton plays. Fast pace, on the ball. They get teams off the counter. And Spain was like on the ball. They get the best out of Cucurella because he could go up and attack. And they slowed the game down so he could transition. Now, that's literally how they got the goal. Slowed the game down, played Cucurella in, boom, cross, bam, 2-1, But the thing with Cucurella is defensively, when the other team's playing against them. When they target Cucurella, he's going up against Mo Salah, he's getting cooked. When he's going up against Saka, he's getting cooked. But he's not really a proper defender. And the day Chelsea stop playing Cucurella left back and get a proper defender there, Chelsea will end up being a little bit more consistent and more of in the title race instead of the little, 2-3 month push. Midfield, we're going to start off with, I'm an Arsenal fan. And that shows how unbiased this list is. Because we are going with Martin Odegaard. This man is referred to as the best center attacking mid in the Prem. Highly, highly unlikely because, to be fair, he's being outperformed by 17-year-old Ethan Nwaneri. When you watch Arsenal, what is the biggest complaint? Arteta balls turned defensive. It's so pragmatic now. It's not really fun to watch because Martin Odegaard is playing scared. Ever since Arsenal's became a favorite, he's been playing scared. Now, people try to say, he creates all these chances. Well, it's because he's on set pieces at the moment. He's putting the ball in the box. All you got to do is cross the ball on a set piece. Boom. You have a created chance right there. It's not like he's making it out of scratch. You're going to say, the performance against PSV. Well, it was 2 mistakes on the goals he scored. And then it's easy to play once you're up 5-1, 6-1 against PSV. Once you're up 6-1, you could do outside the boot, through balls. You could do all these fancy chops because you lose the ball. You're up 6-1. Who cares, So Odegaard has 2 goals, 3 assists. He's getting outscored by Ethan Nwaneri, who's 17 years old. To me, when Bukayo Saka comes back, I would try Ethan Nwaneri out the left wing. If it doesn't work out, just put him at cam, sell Odegaard, because to be fair, that lad is playing as if he's 26 years old, the captain of the club, and Odegaard's playing like the 17-year-old with no experience. So that just shows how overrated he is. People try to call him one of the best center attacking midfielders, but at the moment, I'm more moved by watching, Gibbs White, Morgan Rogers, James Maddison even. I get more moved by those types of players, but Odegaard at the moment doesn't do it for me. Another center attacking mid that just absolutely overrated is Bruno. He's the captain of Man United, and that just shows where they're at the moment. It starts from the top and it starts from captaincy. And when you're watching your captain try to lead by moaning to the referee, crying, diving, showing attitude to his player, blaming everyone but himself, no accountability, always having a problem with the referee, always having a problem with the manager, always having a problem with his teammates. What kind of leader is that? This man is probably one of the biggest reasons why Man United are where they're at. And I've said that Man United should have cashed in on Bruno Fernandes a year or 2 ago. Instead, they extend him, make him captain, make him the face, and they're suffering now because when they need a leader, when they're down against Ipswich, they look at Bruno Fernandes. Yes, Bruno Fernandes is great on the ball. He's great technically, but he's not that leader. He's not in conversations with De Bruyne, which they try to force them into. Kevin De Bruyne is a multiple time he's won the Champions League once, a multiple time Premier League winner. You know, Bruno Fernandes is a FA Cup winner and a Carabao Cup winner. That's it. So I don't know why there's any conversations with him with the likes of De Bruyne, to be honest. To be honest, if you watch Bruno Fernandes, right, and the players I've just watched, Morgan White, twice the player, you know, Clivert from Bournemouth, twice the player. These are proper footballers. Proper, you know, they're creative. They you know, when their team needs it the most, they go out and create. Morgan Rogers is one. He grabs the ball, he can attack you. Bruno Fernandes just trying to play a long ball to one of his fullbacks. You know, it just doesn't move me. To be fair, the problem with Portugal has always been when Bruno Fernandes plays, in my eyes. So that's how overrated he is. Now let's move on to Pedri. Pedri has won all these young awards, right? All these golden boy. Oh, he's the next Xavi. Played on the Xavi. Xavi reincarnated Barca boy. My thing is, Pedri is referred to as world class. Transfer value 80 million. Now, the reason why this is not because of his play, not because of his stats, because his stats are very underwhelming, and his play is decent, but isn't to be what he's considered. To be fair, Fermin Lopez, Gavi, De Jong, Dani Olmo. To me, I would be starting all over Pedri. But if Pedri plays for Barca, he was referred to as the next Xavi. He was bought from Las Palmas when he was young. He's a Barca boy. And if he would have played, let's say, for Athletic Bilbao his whole career, the biggest transfer that he'd get linked to is probably the likes of maybe Newcastle or Brighton, a mid-table Premier League team, or maybe Atalanta takes their shine on him, maybe Napoli, but nothing crazy. For him to be linked to the likes of Man City and Arsenal, overrated because he's a Barca boy with all this hype. But to be fair, he's not really accomplished much, you know, healthy. Barcelona's biggest accomplishment and Spain's biggest accomplishments happen when Pedri is injured. I don't know if you noticed. Because when he's off the pitch, Barca looks better. Dani Olmo comes in, finally registered, scores 2 absolutely great goals. Dani Olmo, to me, is a better version of Pedri. And that's why Barcelona went and got him with Ralf Rangnick. So to me, Pedri, overrated footballer. Now, we're going to go with the right wing. It was either him or Martinelli, but it would have been a little bit forced if I went with Martinelli. I feel like, yeah, he scored 15 goals in one season and then a highly rated world-class next Brazilian winger. But to be fair, Jack Grealish, man. Where has it gone wrong? Well, Pep Guardiola is, because he went from a flary English winger, center attacking mid, exciting prospect from Villa to pass back merchant at Man City. He's so robotic. They've ruined him. 100 million and he's only got like 1 goal and assist this season. Absolutely poor. His biggest highlights at Man City is getting drunk after a treble and recently getting drunk after Newcastle. And Man City, the treble winning one, it's warranted. You've won the treble. But now Man City's in a tough position and you're still getting drunk. Mate, the football needs to come back. And he's getting linked for 60 million. No way is he worth 60 million, but Jadon Sancho 25 million. Jadon Sancho is twice the more creative player than Jack Grealish. Marcus Rashford out on loan. And they're saying 40 million for him. He's twice the player of Jack Grealish. Asensio will probably be transferred for 15, 20 million to Villa or wherever he's going to end up going. He's shown more in his little stint at Villa than Jack Grealish has his whole career at Man City. That's crazy to me. Crazy. So for 60 million being valued, 25 million max. Striker. I've mentioned him. So far, he's been one of the worst transfers, in my opinion, in the Premier League. Because 60 million for 7 goals, and then you go look at his replacement with 7 goals as well. Come on. Tottenham are in a terrible position. You may say, he's been injured for the last 5-6 games. But the thing is, Solanke was supposed to come in and put, Tottenham in a Champions League race to get Champions League football. They were like, we just need to get that Harry Kane replacement. This man scored almost 20 goals for Bournemouth. He's the answer to our prayers. And instead, my man's is injured with 7 goals, while Bournemouth is closer to Champions League football than they are with a cheaper replacement. And to be honest, Chris Wood has become what Solanke was supposed to be for Tottenham. And he's top 3 in goals scored, what they thought Solanke was going to be doing. And not only that, Nottingham Forest is in Champions League football. The season ended, today. So it kind of shows you where the football's gone wrong with Solanke. It seems like he's gotten that payday from Tottenham and he just hasn't really cared as much. He hasn't produced as much. And you may say, oh, Tottenham's been going through injuries, but everybody's been going through injuries. Look at Arsenal. They have what? 17-year-old center attacking mid playing right wing. Sterling's on the bench, a DM playing striker, and then Trossard. Like, everybody has their fair share of injuries. And to be fair, Solanke, you've come in for 62 million and Tottenham are in a mid-table, below mid-table at one point. So that just shows how overrated this transfer is. And to not be considered one of the worst transfers of the summer for 62 million, and considering Richarlison is probably going to outscore him last season, and he wasn't really starting consistently, just shows where that transfer's gone. But finally, we're going to go with this man right here, Portuguese winger Rafael Leao, overrated. He was once 100 million and his transfer value has dropped to 60 million because he's not a big time player. I don't know what's happened to him. He used to be when Milan had that run when they went through Napoli and then they got eliminated unfortunately by Inter. But he was on a run. And then ever since then, he's kind of fallen off. I'm not sure what's going on. I don't know, ever since he changed jersey number to number 10, he just doesn't track back like he used to. He doesn't pressure. He doesn't hustle. He doesn't create like he used to. To be honest, he doesn't really have that chip on the shoulder. He's already considered a world-class winger to many who don't really watch him. But when you actually watch him, yes, he has his little flair, little moments, but he's not really going to move you. He's not really going to change the game typically when it's against, Feyenoord. He didn't really do much, to be fair. And to me, Pulisic does twice as much as what Rafael Leao does. Because, yes, Rafael Leao is naturally more gifted than Christian Pulisic. But when Pulisic isn't having a great game attacking-wise, he's still having those defensive work rates being shown. He's still trying to, provide for his team one way or another. But Rafael Leao just starts walking back. And there's a reason why his transfer fee's lowering. Many people try to say now he's underrated, but no. He's in and over his head. That's what he is. But anyways, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more videos like this. Leave a comment down below what you don't agree and what player have I missed. Maybe I missed one. Let me know down in the comments. But anyways, thank you guys for watching.